Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael and Lee. Join us with topics that wake up the connection to your soul. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com.
Good morning, all you folks out there. It's Lighten Up Talk Radio, and we're recording a show Monday, September 24th, doing an unusual morning time show. Good morning, Lee.
Hey, good morning, Michael. I am awake.
I am too, and boy, it feels so much different doing a morning show, as we were talking about.
Sure does.
It's just a lot clearer in my body feeling. Like it's just totally different. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, it's kind of like what I said a while ago. I think the mornings is more of a teaching type session as far as going on the air. To me, it's much more crisp and much more clear and much more a lot of different things. And the evening when we normally do it, to me, it's a much more of a spiritual type of an adventure as far as a lot of angels and things that's in the room. We always have that around us, but it's a lot more of a mellow type feeling and much more of a healing type session, I think, at night. And the mornings seem to me to be much more of a teaching type session. Of course, still the spiritual type things that we're for, but just a totally different atmosphere with it.
Yeah, because you and I a lot of times are already spinning by the time that
we
sit down at night.
I know
the angels are ready to speak on through.
Right. The last two times I've been spinning just as soon as you said the last word of the intro. So I feel much more awake today than I have the last two times as far as going into a trance session.
Yeah. Well, we're on another adventure today, and I'll tell you, this week has been such a cleansing week for me. Just absolutely going into some real deep cleansing in my life and in my body. And I'm just going to say when it started. It started about Wednesday. I sat down in my room, and I've been kind of invigorating a practice of doing some automatic writing myself, and I've been getting a lot of more messages to just do it. And so I sat down one day, and I got this message that said, too bad I didn't bring it. I could have just read it. But it basically said that we're going to be opening you up in a new way. And we're going to be doing that tonight in your sleep. And it's going to help open certain gifts that you'll be experiencing, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, that's neat. You know, you and I, Lee, have been talking a lot about the abilities and the experiencing the thoughts of one another and the telepathy and all of that kind of stuff that's really amping up right now. And I would guess a lot of you out there are experiencing similar types of things. You may not know how to describe it or understand it, but even your connection of knowing who's calling when the phone rings and all that kind of stuff is really starting to amp up more than ever before. Knowing kind of what people are going to say before it comes out of their mouth. So anyway, that was Wednesday. There was a lot of synchronicities around this, but the long story short, I went to work, came home, went to bed, and had this dream. And the dream, they showed a worm in my sinus cavity, and you all can probably hear I'm still kind of clearing out some of that. But typically in dreams, those type of things are symbolic of, to me, a worm or a parasite is symbolic of just taking energy or, an energy drain of some sort. And so I felt that being pulled out of my left sinus cavity. And then I woke up and I could feel my whole left sinus cavity burning. And I wasn't alarmed by it at all because I know we've been talking about this a lot. I knew and I heard immediately upon waking that you're getting cleared out. Don't worry about it. Just let it happen. And the next series of days have had some drainage in that area, and my head has been going through huge openings. And I've been experiencing all of these messages about myself and my evolution right now. And I'm telling you all this story because, sometimes everyone has these kind of, little drainage things or whatever's going on. I would like to challenge you all out there the next time that you have something going on with your body to ask for what's going on with it instead of, everybody may need to go and get a little help here and there from other people, but I would like to challenge you all to ask, what is the bigger picture here for what's going on with my body right now when this happens? Because this has been something that I've always done in my life, and it just keeps enhancing it, and I always get a message, and it always takes the fear away when I get it. And I just highly recommend, because there is a lot of stuff going on. The vibration within that we're living is raising. And anything within our bodies right now that cannot handle the increase in vibration is coming up to get cleansed out. And you may have something come up in your body like what I experienced, or numerous other types of things. And it's not to get afraid about. And you may need to go and get some help if that just feels the right step for you from a doctor or a naturopath or whatever, in whatever field. But I'd be mindful of what you take, because some of the things out there, the very strong medications and things, have a tendency to take you even further away from hearing the truth about what's going on. It has a way of scrambling the thoughts that divine is giving to you even more, instead of unscrambling them. And so I highly recommend at this time for you all to stop before taking any step, and even if you need to ask for some help with this, and get a clear message from above that's right there within your own heart as to what's going on.
Well, as you all know, my first take on all of this is that I always call him Raphael.
Yes.
Raphael is definitely a healing angel, and the green energy and everything about it. Before I would go to any more steps other than going outside your own body and asking Raphael to please come in and heal whatever is going on within your body, that would definitely be my number one thing. What I have noticed is, I know I have several friends of mine that work out in the outside world and see a lot of people every day, and they keep saying that people are very off balance. Mm-hmm. Their minds are just a lot of forgetfulness going on with that. A lot of stumbling and falling and dizziness and that type of thing. And I think that that's definitely a sign of a vibrational level shift. Mm-hmm. Based on the channeling that I have done recently, it was we could be at a 7 vibrational level, and as of December the 11th, we'll be at 22. Now, that's a huge...
That's more than double.
Yes, that's a huge hit right there of vibrational levels in your body working totally different. So instead of taking on, I think, the process of what in the world has gone wrong with me, and and just being very confused about that, because people can totally go into the fear mode of their health instead of asking the questions of why am I feeling this way. And I would entertain the idea and always say, go in within yourself first and ask for God and for the angels' help as far as giving you some guidance of exactly what you need to be doing. And the guidance could very well be that you need to have maybe this or that and the other. But I would personally think 90% of the time that it would be you need to calm down, you need to get centered, you need to meditate every day. Don't forget about that good old meditation, mm-hmm. because that is where it's at. That is truly where it's at now. If it's only 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour, whatever is good for you, makes no difference if it's morning, night, noon, midnight. Makes no difference. I do believe that people can take out of their busy schedule of at least going within their own body and self every day to be able to touch the realms of God and to be able to go there within their own self. That's much more important to me than a lot of things that you're probably doing in your day's time that would take up 10 or 15 minutes of your time that would be somewhat wasteful compared to that. That's the most important thing. It doesn't have to be that you'll even listen to a tape. It doesn't have, whatever works for you.
It's just commitment towards it.
What I do, and this is just me, is that I might stop 10 times a day for 2 to 3 minutes if I feel the least off-centered or the least thought pattern that's going into my head that is not in a positive mode. And to just sit down and ask our Father God to go in there and to erase that and to erase what's good for me. If I need to concentrate more on that thought, then tell me that as well, and I can go into there to release it. But I think instead of getting all the energy of just totally fright and scared, I'm feeling a lot of that with people, of what is going to happen in my future, of a lot of different things. I would suggest for you to sit down, calm yourself, shut your eyes, and go out within your own mind and ask for guidance. And when that will come. That will come. And don't even question the thought that it won't, because it will. They're there for all of us, not just certain people, for all of us. And now is totally the time to be able to search your own heart and to heal what has been in the past, maybe, that you haven't released. It needs to be released now and be done with it. We're in a new world. This year, the end of this year is not the end of the world, it's a new world. And this new world does not take on the energy of a lot of fear. It doesn't take on the energy of battling with somebody at all times. It takes on the energy of love and peace. And when you can get your own body set for that, and we're just talking about a few more months to have the opportunity to do that, that is definitely the awakening of a new world of total greatness for all, and to be able to rest within your own bodies of having total peace.
I like to, when you said about awakening the new world, to me, I'd like to clarify some things, because there's a lot of people out there that think that this new world is just literally popping open. On an energetic level, though, all the doorways are opening and all of the energy is shifting to come into it, but it's going to take years to blossom into the physical. It may take us 20 years to get even a close foundation of what the new world integrating into this earth, for what it's going to look like. Each and every one of you has a job and a role in bringing this new world to being. And so don't get caught up in, 2012, December 21st. That may be the final closing of bringing these new energies in. We have, from this year forward, to build it. And it's time to build it. It's time to tap into yourself, find what it is within yourself that makes you excited and happy to be alive, find your purpose, and step into it. I would so highly recommend this practice, and I know we've talked about it a lot. The automatic writing, the note-taking, the journaling. Right now, it's so important. Even if, for example, in the morning, all you do is, if you had any kind of dreams or thoughts that kind of came up in your evening, just jot them down, even if it's a couple words. If you have any repetitive thoughts about things that are enjoyable, or dreams or aspirations, or any kind of things whatsoever that are repetitive, get them on paper. I know a lot of us out there, it's kind of a human thing to want things right now. We've been taught with the technology and all the things that are out there to want it now, and it's not realistic in terms of creating a new world. It happens over time. I just channeled a message from my sister this morning. She had emailed me asking if I had any guidance, and the second I read that email, I just pulled up a notebook and I just started writing and sent it to her. And one of the statements that was in there that just came to me so strongly was, you don't build a skyscraper overnight. You build it brick by brick, beam by beam, and it may take years to get that thing up where you can actually see from the perspective of at the top of it, of the beauty of what's all around. But before there, you got to go through the city, looking at all the buildings around you close, and you keep going higher and higher and higher, and before too long, that skyscraper is going to, scrape above all those buildings. For too long, you're going to see clearly of what's going on in a bigger picture. It's no different than the other things that are going on in your life. You just got to do it one step at a time. And I know that I can attest from this right now where I'm at in my life. It has been a lot of bricks putting in. A lot of, first, before I even started, I had to take a lot of the old ones down. The old building that wasn't built on a good foundation, a lot of those things had to come crashing down first. And now it's building the new one. And it's happening. And it's going to continue to grow and expand and all of that stuff. And it's time for you to do it too out there.
Well, that's what it all is about. And, when we talk about New Age, we've heard about New Age forever. Well,
just as old as the hills.
Which is old. I mean, it's not new. But now we're talking about going into another New Age.
Yeah. Renew. That's great. Renew age.
That's right, a renew age. And actually being able to build a stronger vibration within all of us as far as a communal type living with each other, I think will be a great thing that we'll do. The gardening, all the ways of changing our diets, our eating, that's something I need to work on myself. I mean, I definitely note what I need to work on, and everybody has their own thing that they need to work on. And so it's not picking on people. It's just go within yourself and find out what that is and start the process. We have, Michael and myself was talking about earlier today about the cyberspace type thing. And, Michael is a younger being than I am. And so I kind of came up in a different world than he has in a lot of ways. And it was fascinating to me to be able to go into that conversation, to be able to see how it migrated within each other. Mm-hmm. To whereas you got to have both. You got to have both. Sometimes you can get so caught up in doing your messaging every day, your this every day, and you got this phone or whatever in your hand to where you can't even think anymore. I have a friend of mine, and I don't ever mention any names, but this person listens to the show, so she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, every time that you go into a conversation, all that she does, she picks up her phone and she starts texting, or she starts emailing, or she starts doing this, that, and the other, and she's looking at the screen the whole time that you're talking about it. And I say to her, how can you focus on both things? How can you focus on both things at one time? And then she is the first to say, my mind is scrambled, I don't sleep well, I don't do this. Every time I start to meditate, it's this monkey brain going on in my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, and we're good enough friends that I can say this to her. Well, lay it down. Lay down your device for 30 minutes a day. Can you please do that? I mean, we went on a trip that was a very holistic type trip and couldn't even enjoy the scenery I was driving. Because because I was looking at this phone, texting the whole time.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that resonate to this.
It was unreal. I couldn't believe it. And what is so aggravating about that whole thing is that on the way down, because all of a sudden we get to the top and there's no service. Oh my gosh, it was like a disaster just happened. The whole mountain fell in, okay? So, and to me it was like, thank goodness this is over. Now you can open up, you see. And then we get halfway down, and then she starts saying, and then the battery was out, because of course this mountain drained this battery out, And she's saying to me, I don't remember seeing this on the way up. How beautiful is this? I don't remember seeing this on the way up. And I looked at her. It was very interesting. I looked at her. I said, I can understand why you never saw this going up, because your nose was stuck to that phone. And it was that much of it's just, it was very interesting to see how that we operated differently in that environment. And I just, it's wonderful to have all of this, but it's also wonderful to be able to look at trees, to look at mountains, to look at water, to look at all the things that God created in our world, and to still appreciate that, to still be able to have the vision and the thought pattern to appreciate it. How wonderful it is. I mean, I just came back from a beach trip with my family, and it was just a great 4 days to be down there. And the most wonderful thing about it was that I had one of my children with me that's totally in one of these operational modes all the time. And for him to just put it down, I said, would you please just put it down? Give me 3 days without having to look at you with your nose into just texting and email and going on the internet and reading all these things. I said, give me 3 days without seeing you do that. Mm-hmm. That will be the only gift that you can give me. You don't have to buy me Christmas or birthdays or anything. Just put it down, will you? And he put it down. And it was amazing. We went walking on the beach. Didn't have to, he actually got to see waves. It was great. We actually went to the pavilion. We actually did things that was just wonderful. And then, we get back in the car, and on the way back home, I said, well, how did it feel to be detached for 3 days? And this was his exact words. That's all I needed to say. He did what he needed to do for me, and I think he needed to do it for himself. But he just could not say, "Well, I think it was good too." But it was amazing to be able to open your eyes and actually see what God's created here, and to be able to enjoy it. To get in a car and just ride and just look. Oh yeah! I mean, that's an amazement within itself.
It is.
It's just an amazement within itself.
I do resonate with him, however, because I at times I have to pick up my phone, constantly check, and I really have to work on that too. And I've found that I will just go and put it away.
Right, you do that. I know you do that.
I do that, but it's definitely a part of me, the electronic stuff. One thing that I have found, I'd like to put this out there to everybody. Especially if you're really in an intense mode with it. And I know there's a lot of folks out there where it gets really intense, where you cannot let go of that thing. Sometimes your body needs to be exercised. You need to just go and do some exercise to release some of that energy of check. And I've found that exercise can completely shift something. Even, of course, being outside can do it too, but a lot of us need to move our bodies more than we do, and strengthening work or yoga, whatever. It's great to do meditation, but it's also being in a body. You can do meditation with exercise too.
You can,
and incorporate that. And what a better time with the fall than to get outside and do some exercise, walking, jogging, hiking, whatever resonates to you. Just do it. Integrate some piece of it, even if it's once a week or, a couple times a week, whatever it is. But it'll really help with the shift that's happening.
Yeah, we have a new community building now here in this town of Dandridge. And nice. we have really, and it's a very nice place. And I went in there last week, and it was just amazing. And you can actually get on the treadmills or whatever they have there, work out 15, 20 minutes, and you can, at that point in time, just went totally out. I mean, still doing the walk, but my head was just totally out because I put that intention in there before I got there. And a lot of times it's around intention of what you intentionally put there. But it can be anything. It can be any type of just outdoor type thing. And I know I've gotten that card several times in the past couple of weeks. And I thought to myself, I have this wonderful porch, got 2 porches to be exact. I have this wonderful porch out here. I need to just go out there and sit more. Is what I need to do. And now's the perfect time to do that. And I think it's the perfect time of the year and the perfect time in the 2012 year to be able to really go out there and enjoy listening to the birds and the squirrels and all that good stuff.
Another kind of in addition to what we've just been talking about, one way, if you're one that has a lot of trouble meditating with the monkey brain, go and do some form of exercise to the point of exhaustion, and then come in and sit. And I guarantee you'll get deeper than you probably ever have before. Right. It is amazing. I've done yoga before and just very different kinds of things, whereas before I went, it was hard for me to sit and meditate. I will come back and I will go so deep, and it is just like instant connection because all the chatter's been moved through the body. And so I'd highly recommend that for a lot of you out there.
Well, one thing that I started doing, and I still do it at times, is I have a word that just totally stops me. And I won't say what the word is on the air, but it is a very spiritual word. And it's one that resonates totally with me. And as soon as I can say that one word, it stops me. And I just totally quiet myself down because I went through a training session about 3 years ago to be able to do that. And it's very, because I'm a very high energy type person. Mm-hmm. And I really chose to do it that way. And it's amazing. I can be just as crazy and wild and just my mind going 90 miles an hour. I can stop myself with that word, and it actually stops me right there in that place. And I train, my brain is trained for that. Mm-hmm. And it's just amazing how that works. It's all in what works for you.
Yeah, and finding the balance. Because sometimes you might want to do that, and sometimes your body needs to get moved.
Just needs to. Well, I think you can do both.
Yeah, and whatever works.
Whatever works.
Whatever combination thereof is all
exactly.
good. It's
whatever.
just we're trying to help give some ideas to get you moving in the direction of your highest calling, path, and purpose.
That's right.
And all of these things are fantabulous.
Fantabulous.
And with that, we picked a whole bunch of cards this morning, and then we put them together in a pile and shuffled them up, and we're just going to randomly just...
We're just going to pick one, put them upside down.
You want to go first?
Whichever one. No, go ahead, Michael. You go first. I knew you was going to pick that one.
That one was just kept looking at me.
Yes.
And this, obviously, because this one resonates to me a lot. It's, I think this is from the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck, and it's the Authority card with the number 4 on it. And it's a very masculine card with a masculine guy there. And it's just really resonates to me that it's time to step into the authority of yourself, to trust that you are the only person in your life of whose authority really matters, to make the decisions for your own life. And it is time to step as leader of yourself. Let go of all of the cords and attachments to the needs of approval from this person, that person, this thing, or whatever it is. And it's time to be your own authority figure. And this card is beautiful. It has a circle of light around the head, and it's impenetrable. Like you cannot penetrate through the thoughts. Like the thoughts of others cannot penetrate through that circle of light around his head. And the way he's got his arms held, it's just total strength. And there's pillars. There's a pillar next to each side of him, which, it's just all about strength, tapping into it. I think this is just such a powerful card for everybody out there right now, and it totally resonates to me in taking my own power back in a deeper way than I ever have before, and I'm doing it every day.
And that's what it is. It's a day-by-day process. It's not immediate. It's kind of like what we said before. Yeah. It's not immediate. It's a day-by-day process. And some days you might feel like you might fall back, but you know what? You're not falling back. You're just where you need to be. That's the way that works. You're just where you need to be. Okay, let me pull one here and see what it is. Oh, wow.
That's the Sylvia Brown deck, isn't it?
It is the Sylvia Brown deck. Well, let me put this on. You can have a partner you love, but don't forget all the other loves, such as friends, family, pets, and so on. This is very interesting. This is kind of what I was talking about a while ago with the having the child and turning it off for 3 days for me. This is exactly what that is, I think. Don't forget all your loved ones. And what I would say with that is stay in a good mode with them. And now is not the time to be in any type of a stressful mode with your family, or to not be able to speak what your truth is, but to be kind doing it. At times you can just maybe say different words. And I think that some of us, and I've done it before myself, just kind of talks off the top of my head to where if I'd have thought about what I really said, I would have probably backed it up a little bit differently than the way that I said it to a person. But I think now's the time to be kind to everyone. It always has been that, but I think it's particularly the time now because, of course, the energy process going on. I think there's a lot more sensitivity with people. And I think we have to absolutely appreciate what that is and have kindness with whatever that you say.
Yeah.
You can get the same point across to people in a kind manner versus one that is maybe the voice is a little bit harsh or argumentative or whatever. And the same point can be, and it's amazing how somebody's ears will open themselves up when you're kind to them.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely.
I think with anything, you can pretty well say what you want to, but just be kind with it. And I think that when you do it that way, that the person hears it a lot better.
I have another kind of similar but kind of different perspective on that as well. I think a lot of people out there, including myself, have definitely been there. I feel a shift with this now. But those of you out there looking for that one person in your life, that's going to be the love of your life, that's wonderful and all, but there's that one person is not everything.
No.
You can't forget about you, and you can't forget about all of the loves in your life. Friends, family, animals, everything. They're all loves of life. And you may have a special partnership with someone that that's more a part of your life in certain ways, but there are all kinds of loves, and don't forget those loves.
I think what's been brought up with me as well. I have a person that's actually here in the home with me that's very ill, and has been for several years, but has gotten even more in depth with illness. And I have been noticing this past week, we have 3 cats. And these cats have just been really very close to this individual. Has been one of them laying up in the bed with this individual whenever he's sleeping. Uh-huh. You've got the other one that is now sitting in an office chair at his desk. And it's just like they're guarding him. Animals are so intuitive. And the actions of the animals that surround you, pay very close attention to that. Because I think that human beings could learn a lot from the animal world.
Oh, boy, am I with you on that one.
And that is I just wanted to bring that thought up. Because a lot of times people do not understand how intuitive that animals are. And, some people just take them and pin them up in the backyard or put them, you know what I mean? It's just, and they don't have a whole lot of connection with it. And these cats have been a great test for me. One of them being Michael's that he brought over here.
Bubba Girl.
And that Bubba Girl. But every one of my pets have been rescue type pets. And, it's very interesting to see how they all react with each other because they all got different personalities, but as well as how they react with a person that they know that is a very ill person. And whenever he has the down days, they absolutely will not leave within 5 feet of where he's at. So it's been an amazing sight to be able to see that. So I might say just go in and give your animals a little more petting and love than maybe that you do. To talk about that as well, we're looking at actually looking at some property to actually put a holistic type retreat as far as giving back. Michael and myself have had a huge purpose, a lot of different purposes, but this is one that has really resonated with me over the past few years of having a piece of property and to be able to go in and do a lot of things with. One of them, an animal rescue. I have a friend that's totally into that, and I would definitely see that person working with that as well as with other people as well. And to be able to go out and do training classes about all different types of things.
Oh, yeah.
to have concerts out there and bring in people from all over the world to be able to speak at this property, as well as putting a broadcast company out there so we would be able to go out and broadcast all over the world and where we need to, what we need to talk about at that time and bring speakers into us. So we are in the midst. This has been a dream for several years, but it's really becoming even a closer and a closer situation right now. For this particular piece of property, it's been kind of looking for it. And this afternoon I am going to be calling the people that actually own this property. They're living in Virginia right now.
Cool.
But they also have a home here in Dandridge. But I am going to have a conversation with them. And here you go again. This is a start. It doesn't say that it's going to be finished in 5 days, 10 days, whatever. This is you have to have you have to have the vision of it. And when you have the vision, then it manifests itself. Because this has always been in my heart to have this type of a place and to be able to invite other people there to be able to come and to have a place of rest and relaxation and teaching. Also to have needy children, maybe in the orphanages, because there is an orphanage that's fairly close to this, and I definitely see bringing them out for the barn type situation, have a couple of horses, and bringing them out for the day type events, those type of things.
Giving back.
It's giving back. You know, I'm at a point in my life that I've been given a lot of great things in my life. I've had a great life and will continue to have more of a great life. But now's the time for the giving back of that for me. And it's total passion. And so anyway, I'm putting it out in the air because I think you have to put it out there. Because when you put it out there, it just manifests itself twice more. And looking at some people to come in to be able to help financially with this situation, to put it together. I know that it will happen. And it will happen in divine timing. Not in my timing, but divine timing. But I do feel like the divine timing's close with this.
Well, the steps have been taken, and you already have the next one.
Yes.
The initial steps, and the next step is on your plate right now.
That's it. It's it. It's walking toward the finish line. And that's where I would entertain everybody listening to this. You have a starting point, and you can walk as slowly or fast as you would like down to the finish line. And you will be guided to do that because you will just feel it. It's a feeling within you that you know that it's time, or maybe I need to sit back and wait a little while before this happens, which is what had happened with me. And I just had to wait, and now's the time. I know that. And just really tap into whatever your life purpose is, because you came into this lifetime with a soul that definitely had it imbued in you.
Absolutely. Each and every person.
Everybody
has it anchored in there.
Yes.
You just have to go sometimes tread through all the old stuff to get to that place, which is absolutely there. And the energies on the planet now and the transformation that's happening are helping us to go put our wading boots on and just go in it. You don't really even have a choice in a lot of areas. It's just happening.
I was in Lilydale, New York 2 years ago, and it actually, my father actually came in on a trance session that I was in, and he just said October 2012 is the time. You go for it because it's already been blessed. Now, the key to that to me was I have to take the steps to get it there. I mean, just because you get any type of somebody saying that to you does not mean that you do not have to take. It doesn't mean that you don't have to take the steps to get there. It's just not going to fall in your lap.
It's not going to go bling.
Here it is, but that's not the way that it works.
Why would we be here as human beings if we didn't get to be a part of each and every molding the clay that puts it all together? You might as well just stay on the other side.
That's just a tool to get you going and to take and to take the walk. And if you choose not to take that walk, then that's what you've chosen. That is your free will to do it either way that you want to do it. But I truly know that my free will said now's the time to do it and to take the step to get there. And it will all be a miracle.
Absolutely. I'd like to put it out there for everybody this week to commit to the time to listen to the messages coming to you. And just with meditation, whatever, some of the things that we've talked about on the show, but truly commit to listening and you will receive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way it works. So,
are you going to?
How much more time we got, Michael? I don't pay any attention to time. Michael is
as much time as we want.
I understand. And the card that I just drew was forgiveness. So I think we pretty well have touched that.
Yeah.
Forgiveness, I think we touched upon that a while ago.
It's a beautiful one.
Yes, because
and I'll pick one more.
When you forgive, everything starts working in your favor.
And I pick the receive, which is what we just talked about as well. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase intuition, energy, and ability to give to others.
And this is very interesting. I think this is the flow of this, because just what we're talking about, then we're just pulling these cards, and this is how it works. And it says gifts from God. Exactly what I was just speaking about from Sandalphon. We angels bring you gifts from the Creator and open your arms to receive. Well,
there you go.
You walk the walk to receive it. And then here's the next one is let go of the past and go. That's forgiveness and go on.
There you go.
That's it. And the last one is listening.
Wow.
And it actually shows a person that's looking up to the angels and to God. And she's just sitting there adoring, with this adoring look on her face, listening.
Well, so, there we go.
There we go. That's all the threads we talked about. These cards were upside down, and we just pulled them, and there it is. It just works that way, Michael. We definitely know that.
Yes, we do. And y'all go listen, and you will receive the gifts of guidance in your life.
Absolutely. And there is, Michael's still clearing out today, which is good. I did a automatic writing, and this has been 2 weeks ago, so I think it's time to actually read it at this time about what, and this came from Raphael. And it says, Dear one, it's time to wake up to the energy within yourself of pride, grace, love of oneself, and allow oneself to appreciate the love of tranquility. Love light that shines in all things. Judgment of self can stop the process of growing in one's life and stepping out of the divine purpose. Remember to light candles for ones who follow the Spirit of God. God is our creator of love for all things. The workers of the light will be attended to compassion, and the light as all things is universal power. Beings are surrounding you constantly to give messages for the growth within your light. Wake up to all the energies to serve all beings, to heal the universal power for all the cosmos. Be kind to all and love yourself with unconditional power of strength within you. All is well and always will be. Raphael.
Beautiful. What a wonderful note to end on.
That is a great note to end on.
Well, you all have a super blessed week as always.
As always.
And we will talk to you again soon.
And so it is.
So it is.